I've tried to script this video and I hate it, so I'm not gonna keep trying that. Most of this video is gonna be off the cuff, so if you hate that kind of thing, I don't really care. I'm doing it for me, so if you get some enjoyment out of it, then I do care. Fantastic. That's awesome. So Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out. It's weird, right? Because it's sort of like the first big game of 2020, the new decade that starts off with Dragon Ball. If you're not an anime fan, you probably don't give a shit, but for us it's kind of big. Like, going into this game there was a lot of excitement, and so it came out and I bought it on release day, and oh boy. So this game tricked me. I fell for it. It happened. I thought I was having fun for like a dozen hours. That's like my playtime right now. It's like 12 something. I thought I was having fun, right? At this point, I'm kind of admitting to myself that I think the game is not good. In fact, I think it's terrible. So that's probably gonna come as a shock to anyone who knows me, because at first I was like, wow, this game is great, but no, it sucks. Let's talk about it. So deep down I probably always knew that it was bad, but I just couldn't accept it because I love Dragon Ball, and anytime a Dragon Ball game comes out, I want it to be good. But really, if I'm being honest, I haven't enjoyed a Dragon Ball game since Raging Blast 2 on the PlayStation 3, which had a lot of positives, like Cooler having an actual transformation scene, but it lacked a story mode, and it had a questionable art style. The character models were a bit weird, but it had some really sexy effects in the attacks and auras, which is great. But anyway, so they removed the story in that game, which was fair, because Raging Blast 1 had like adapted the entire anime, and I don't know why I say the anime, the Dragon Ball Z anime, it's a whole thing. You know how the original manga is just called Dragon Ball, and then they rebranded Z for whatever, it doesn't matter, that's a whole thing. Anyway, they took the story out in that game, but the gameplay was fantastic. And it's like, well, you took the story out, which is okay, but I played all 3 Budokai games and all 3 Budokai Tenkaichi games. I played the story in every single fucking one of those. I was only interested in like the updated Dragon Ball simulating experience on the PS3 at the time. You know, I didn't want to be stuck playing those PS2 games during the PS3 era. I didn't need to have a rehash of the same story I'd watched a million times and played more times than like Shenron's been summoned. Fast forward, I thought Xenoverse 1 looked like fucking garbage. Like, whatever. But I finally caved in for Xenoverse 2 when it came to the Switch, because that was really exciting. I was like, oh cool, I remember that first, January Direct with the Switch, and it was like, yes, we're bringing Xenoverse 2, and I was like, what? Oh my god. Okay, sir, fine, okay, that sounds cool. So I enjoyed that game when I was playing it, sort of the same as Kakarot, except I played Xenoverse for 20 hours and loved it basically all the way until that point. But for Kakarot, I have no intention of continuing to play it. I'm probably going to sell it immediately, or attempt to, because oh my god. Yeah, so I basically hated Xenoverse after that for reasons. It's not really important to this video. I'm rambling a lot. Fighters, we all know that came out, or what the fuck, how do you even pronounce it? Fighter Z? Like, you really expect me to take that seriously? Yeah, 2D fighting game, I don't really like those, sorry. So flash forward to the recent past, CyberConnect 2, the developer responsible for the Naruto Ultimate Ninja and Ultimate Ninja Storm games. That's right, there was an Ultimate Ninja series. I was on the PS2. How could you have not played those? How could you not know what those are? Come on. Yeah, so they announced that they were developing an open world Dragon Ball Z game, and this got me cautiously optimistic, but I was excited. Like, okay, Dragon Ball Z again. How about some love for like literally any other Dragon Ball series? I hated GT, but like, I don't know, I would play an open world GT. Like, you get to go to space and stuff, but not if the overworld is shitty as like this in this game. Whatever, we'll get to that. We're getting there. Anyway, so it was CyberConnect 2, the developer that broke the trend of video game adaptations of anime and manga being always shit. Like, it was true, right? Like, developers would make these shitty fucking skeletons of absolute garbage, broken trash, and they would put not Dragon Ball. Well, maybe sometimes Dragon Ball. Like, remember Ultimate Battle 22 on the PS1? No. Like, these anime games, right? They would make crap games, and then they would put like anime character skins on their fucking models, and then be like, look, we made an anime game, all you fucking otaku weeaboo pieces of crap that we don't give a shit about. That's me saying this as one of those people. Don't worry, I'm not calling any of you out. I love you all. It's okay. I haven't slept in 22 hours. Yeah, no, they would be like, we made this shitty game, but the cover art looks great, so, you know, we're gonna trick everyone into buying it. No, CyberConnect 2 was like, we made the best Naruto games ever. And like, it's true. Like, that's what happened. They really contributed to everyone's enjoyment of Naruto, in my opinion. Like, those games were phenomenal. They played great, they looked great, blah blah blah. You know. Anyway, so I thought they would make a great Dragon Ball game, but it appears that I trusted them too much to improve the worst parts of those Naruto games when applying them to a different property, which was the exploration. Now, the exploration in the Storm games was always tedious, it was shallow, it was a waste of fucking time. It was terrible. Like, right from the first game all the way through to the third, it was absolutely terrible until they finally got a clue and removed it entirely in the fourth, which is why Storm 4 was so good, by the way. It focused on the developer's strength, and I couldn't anticipate the Switch version more if I tried. I mean, come on, Storm 4 in bed, I need it now! Yeah, it was like the least engaging, most superficial 3D adventure traversal I ever suffered. Like, the overworlds were worse than Pokemon's. By that I mean not in appearance, but in actual level geometry. Like, they adapted like all the great locations, but they were just like hallways with window dressing. It was a fucking joke. And your character's movement speed was like abysmal despite how fast the ninja should be. And there was absolutely nothing of value to discover. It was like, hallways, the game! But at the end, you know, it's worth it for the torture because the fights are amazing. The combat, it was always criticized by fighting game fans to be like a button masher, you know, you just circle, 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 but like, what is created on screen as a result of that circle, circle, circle? Like, you just, and there's substitute, whatever, you know, it was simple, but great. It looked great, it felt great. That's the point. Like, that's what it should be. Oh god, I mean, I typically dislike fighters that aren't Smash, and the Storm games were another exception. The characters were animated with fluidity that was unmatched by any other anime adaptation I'd ever seen, and their name gained recognition from that. I got excited that they would make a good DBZ game, and oh god. So, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a disgrace to their previous achievements with Naruto. The only positive in this game is that they take extra time to add story in between the established canon to, I guess, try to make it feel new and exciting and fill things in. I've seen some people be like, well, this is bullshit filler, and it's like, I mean, I'm making a video right now, nothing but complaining, but like, I don't know, that's my positive. I think that's a good thing, because anything to make this story that we've been playing for fucking like, how many decades now, feel fresh, that's good. So, I don't know, everything else is just an absolute mess. So, before we go any further, I just want to remind everyone that these are my opinions. You know, people get really, really angry when you just have a different opinion, and I mean, god, I'm just trying to have my words resonate with people that feel the same way, because like, I'm disappointed, man. Like, if you like this game and you're enjoying it and you think it's like the best Dragon Ball game since like Budokai 3, that's awesome. I couldn't be happier for you. I'm not trying to be like, you shouldn't be having fun with this game because the truth is it's garbage. No, fuck, god damn it. Like, just enjoy the game. I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna edit this video. I'm gonna put this video up, maybe, I guess, potentially. Who knows? Maybe I might think that my recording is fucking ridiculous because I sound like a complete idiot and trash it all together. But anyway, if you're hearing this, I'm gonna go play something else that makes me happy. You play what makes you happy. Like, you do you. I'm not trying to do you any harm. I love you. You think you laid it on a teensy bit thick there. Thanks, SpongeBob. Okay, so I have like a bullet point list of stuff. Let's just start with the combat. I think it is repetitive and boring and has no depth and it's limited and oh my god. So people said that, the Xenoverse combat, they said their Xenoverse combat was a step down from like Raging Blast, like watered down Raging Blast. They said the Raging Blast combat was a watered down Tenkaichi Budokai. Kakarot is a watered down Xenoverse that was a watered down Raging Blast that was a watered down Tenkaichi. Please, if you have a PlayStation 2, seek these games out. I'm like, again, going back to my earlier point, if you like this game, great, but you are missing out on a world of amazement. Yeah, probably, you might, I don't know, maybe you're one of those people who's like, these games look like crap because they're on the PS2. Go find these games, like, I promise. The gameplay's, there's so many options, like, yeah, sure, it's still kind of limited in a way, but from memory, okay? From memory. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this mechanic was in this game, but I don't know, like, you can't charge your supers. You have, from what I can tell, you have one melee combo. One melee combo! and so you have two modifiers that you can do instead of finishing your melee combo. You can either modify it at the end by throwing one ki blast in the character's face, or you can use a shockwave to knock them back. And those are the only fucking attack modifiers from what I can tell. You can't fire a charged ki blast until you've until you fire a few like weak ones at first. Like you can't, and for melee as well, you can't, like you used to be able to either, you know, punch and kick, or, you know, like charge up your strike and unleash it for like a guard break or something. But no, you can't even do that. You get one combo and a few modifiers, and that's it. You can teleport infinitely, but it doesn't drain ki. So it's basically just like moving normally. It doesn't make any sense. Kaioken drains health, so that's really fucking useful. What else? Like, it's so fucking boring, and then... The reason this repetitive, boring shit combat is really, really bad in this game is because you are fighting fucking constantly. You're in the open world, which is a joke, by the way. It's the most barren, farcical overworld I've ever seen. Like, I cannot remember an open world that is this bad in any game I've ever played. Like, except maybe you might be able to say that, you know, like in RPGs when you're running around the like overworld, like not the like towns and stuff, but like the olden one where you like it's you as like a giant on like the world map, and there's absolutely nothing because that just exists to get the character from one town or location to the other. That's like what the main overworld in this game is, except it's a little more populated, but we'll get to that in a second. The reason the repetitive combat sucks so bad is because you encounter enemies on the overworld, but like constantly. So this is another positive actually. You will run into enemies, like you'll fly into them, and the battle will start automatically. There's no like stupid transition or like loading screen. The only really fucked up problem is that it breaks immersion like crazy, because when you enter battle, all of the overworld like objects or whatever will disappear so that the screen can become like the battle zone, I guess. But like that kills the immersion when like the muscle tower disappears, so that, because it's a destructible environment in the regular overworld, but you can't have that interacting with your battle, so it'll just fucking vanish, and that killed me. I was like, I'm done. I mean, that's not what stopped me from playing. I mean, come on, I can suspend my disbelief, but it's really jarring. Anyway, so you'll fly into these guys and you'll encounter them like, I don't know, like every 30 seconds. I'm serious. And you just do your same fucking combo over and over and over, like dodge the incoming laser, then like unleash the same 3 or 4 hit combo that you've been doing, or, you know, at the end, maybe modify it with the one key blaster, maybe use a shockwave, maybe use one of your 4 supers that you have equipped that you've been spamming like crazy. It's just, I don't know, other Dragon Ball games just don't feel this pointless. It's just so limited. It drives me crazy. Do you hear the cathartic stuff that is leaving my body as a result of my disappointment of this game? Can you feel the just like weight being lifted off of me as I release these words into the microphone? And okay, so the RPG mechanics, what the fuck? Who came up with the community board? Like, okay, so at first it was like, oh cool, look at this like weird kind of thing. I don't even know what to say about it. It's so stupid. I just, if I cared enough, because this game, one of the last lines in my script, my original script, is, at the end of the day, my time is extremely valuable to me, and this game isn't worth any more of mine, which is why you're getting this stupid off-the-cuff random rant thing. If I had the time, or if I cared to use my time to construct a more eloquent review, stuff would be explained in greater detail, but this is what you're getting. The community board, I have nothing to say except point out the absurdity of it. You get like little pins that you can level up. I don't even know how. Who cares? Like, why the fuck do I want to spend my time in a Dragon Ball game with bad combat leveling up a fucking button or a pin or whatever the fuck it is to put it on some board? And if you put them together in a certain way, like stick Gohan next to Goku, I don't know why, because he's a terrible father and he's never around for his fucking son. That's an old meme that I don't know why I'm relying on. I don't even think any of this is funny, but it doesn't matter. You put these pins on a board, and the proximity to different characters gives like bonuses, and I don't know, it's just like, who cares? Why would I want to waste my time doing that? No. And then like at first I was like, oh my god, there's a skill tree. But guess what? It's not even a fucking real skill tree. Look at it and you'll see that like it's just a level up moveset disguised as a skill tree. It's fucking idiotic. You know how a skill tree is supposed to fucking work? You level level up or you gain points or experience or whatever the hell it is in the actual game, and you spend it on stuff. Doing so involves an important decision-making process because you're choosing one thing, and if you're choosing one thing, then you're not choosing something else, which is, you know, how you're personally building your character based on your preferences and playstyle. And, you know, in the end, you end up with a character that is like built up by you, and that's the whole role-playing aspect, man. But in this game, everyone's character just ends up the same because you get everything eventually. You just work your way through the skill tree. Like, it's not a skill tree. It's just a level up move set. It's so stupid. It's like, why would you brand it as a skill tree? Just like have the characters learn those moves as they level up, whatever. It's arbitrary. It's just an arbitrary way to restrict the character's moveset at the beginning because they don't want to make like different characters like they did in Tenkaichi. Like in that game you have like early Goku and then like Namek Saga Goku and then like the end Goku. Like, you know, one can transform with Super Saiyan and the other one has like Super Saiyan 3 and whatever. And obviously that wouldn't work in an open world game, but like skill tree is stupid. What else? The overworld. Oh my god, the overworld. So this is like the worst thing. At first I was like, wow, this is cool. I can fly around and I can hunt dinosaurs and like collect orbs. It's, what is this, like Superman 64? Like the overworld is full of mundane objectives and just like absolutely nothing. Like it's pretty big, but the way that the characters move is like not fluid at all. It's awkward and robotic. There's no fluidity to the animation whatsoever. Like same with like the overworlds in those Naruto Storm games, but they made up for that in the combat. By the way, the combat is nothing special when it comes to looks. It looks even worse than the other games that weren't developed by CyberConnect 2. And the whole point of them is that they make the source material look better than it ever has. They have such panache. They have such style. They're so good at making anime look amazing. Like, you know those episodes of My Hero Academia where like the budget just like is like the budget like pulls down its fucking pants and like starts slapping you in the face with its dick like, take this. That was weird, but anyway, you know those episodes, right? Like Deku versus like Todoroki, like the holy crap, the budget. That's what like every boss fight in any Storm game is like. It's like, holy shit, look at what I'm looking at right now. This looks so fucking incredible. You don't get any of that with this game. Like it's just sometimes there's even like sound effects missing. The character models look awkward and weird. The fucking line delivery. I am not playing on Japanese, and maybe I should. Of course I should, but like I'm not, because I don't know, I grew up with the English cast and I kind of like them, even though last year's controversy with the voice actors, holy fuck. A couple, or maybe that wasn't even last year. I think it was last year, whatever. Maybe it was, yeah, early last year or something. Who knows? I was just so done with like the Dragon Ball community at that point, but it's blown over. People are still talking about it, but I'm not fucking involving myself in it. Whatever. Anyway, the line delivery in this game is insane, and you have to hear, every time you run into a fucking random battle on the overworld, every 30 goddamn seconds, you have to listen to the characters say the same goddamn line. Like somebody, like, I can't remember what Piccolo says, but it's like, I guess someone wants to die, or Gohan's like, I think I can handle this, and you hear that like every 30 seconds. It's just, oh my god. And then they recorded some of the story dialogue, but then for like regular interactions with NPCs, you just get like grunts and shit, but sometimes they don't grunt, sometimes they say actual words that make no sense in the context of the fucking conversation, and it's just super, just bad. Like, stuff like that communicates to me that you just don't care. Why should I care about this game if the fucking developers or the localization team don't? Like, in like, you know, back in Budokai, you had like Cell's semi-perfect voice and stuff, and his imperfect voice, like playing when he transformed to his perfect form, but like, I get why that happens. In Japanese, Cell has one voice, so since the English cast decided to change it up with each transformation, of course you're gonna have some, like, if you record some sound effects of grunting and stuff, and I don't know, I imagine that'd be super fucking difficult to program, telling the game to not play these sound effects when the character looks like this, or I don't know, I'm getting way off track, but anyway, holy shit, everything about the voice work is, if you listen to the English one, is just abysmal and distracting and irritating. It's like, shut the fuck up. Speaking of which, if you're playing on the PS4 version, holy shit, King Kai is gonna scare the fuck out of you if you're playing at like 4 in the morning, because I thought I had my PlayStation 4's controller speaker volume turned all the way down, but turns out I didn't, and King Kai's like, hey! I was like, holy fuck, what the hell? Also, when you're in the overworld, you can like destroy things with key blasts, but you don't do it in third person with a reticule. God forbid you would have any connection to your character. No, you enter this idiotic fucking third person view where you don't even see like your character's hand, like in, I don't know, BioShock or like Skyrim where you cast spells and you see the hand, which brings you, you know, closer to your character. No, it cuts to like a fucking reticule and that's it. Like nothing else. You are there and you see like your tiny little key blast drift off into the distance and it's just bad. And the movement is slow and imprecise and oh my god. And then the difficulty. Okay, so regular enemies, like the stupid ones that you're running into constantly and using the same goddamn moves over and over to fight, those are like a joke. You destroy them in like a few combos or a few supers. But then they start spawning like these super mega crazy villainous enemies with like intense red evil auras. Levels in this game mean so much. You can't do anything to them. You try to challenge them at like even 5 less levels and you'll get completely destroyed. What's the point of having them in the world if you can't overcome those challenges? Like, I guess maybe if I cared enough, I would, you know, go make some meals or keep like a ton of health healing items, but like that's not satisfying. I don't know. Maybe it's possible to beat them if you're like crazy, but I literally encountered an enemy that one-shot me if I tried, so that's boring. Obviously, I'm not saying it's too hard, it's just pointlessly hard. Like, I played Dark Souls and beat it. I don't care if the game is hard, but like, I care if it's balanced correctly. I always knew that I could overcome a challenge in Dark Souls no matter how difficult it was, because that game was brilliantly designed. This game is not brilliantly designed. So the regular enemies are a fucking waste of time. You can literally fly into them sometimes and kill them. The mid-tier, I guess, enemies are too strong. And then the bosses are just not good. They're like brick wall attack sponges with better moves than you'll ever get to use. So it's like, why? And then to kick it all off, so the game is just like repetitive and irritating and badly designed. It's got so many problems. To top it all off, you have to work through this story that you've been playing. I have to. I'm not gonna anymore, but like, what's the point? Like, why would I know everything that happens. Why would I want to play this crap game anymore? Well, I guess I'm not going to. It's just not worth it for me. But yeah, I hope you have a great day. And I hope you're not too mad at me. I don't know. If you liked the game, I don't know why you would continue watching when I was going on an absolute madman rage. And well, that's all I got. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat some chicken and play something good now. See you later.